chair.
I, Unique Aronson. I, Unique Aronson,
I, Unique Aronson,
do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I will support,
that I will support,
obey, and defend
obey, and defend
the Constitution of the United States
the Constitution of the United States
and the Constitution of this Commonwealth,
the Constitution of this Commonwealth,
and that I will discharge my duties
and that I will discharge my duties
as Mayor of Conshohocken
as Mayor of Conshohocken
with fidelity.
with fidelity.
Next up will be Councilmember Martin. Sign right there, please. Thank you. Of course.
I, Anita Bargan, do solemnly swear that I will support, obey, and defend the Constitution of the United States
The Constitution of the United States
and the Constitution of this Commonwealth,
and the Constitution of this Commonwealth,
and that I will discharge my duties
and I will discharge my duties
as council member of Conshohocken
as council member of Conshohocken
with fidelity.
with fidelity.
Next up will be Kathleen. Yes. Go there.
I, Kathleen Kingsley,
I, Kathleen Kingsley,
do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I will support, obey, and defend
that I will support, obey, and defend
the Constitution of the United
the
States
Constitution of the United States
and the Constitution of this Commonwealth,
and the Constitution of this Commonwealth,
and that I will discharge my duties
and that I will discharge my duties
as council member of Conshohocken
as council member of Conshohocken
with fidelity.
with fidelity.
Next up is Stacy.
I, Stacy L.,
Stacy Ellen,
do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I will support,
that I will support,
obey, and defend
obey, and defend
the Constitution of the United States
the Constitution of the United States
and the Constitution of this Commonwealth,
and the Constitution of this Commonwealth,
and that I will discharge these duties
and that I will discharge these duties
of my office
of my office
with fidelity.
with fidelity.
I,
Adrian Sedner,
do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I will support,
that I will support,
obey, and defend
obey, and defend
the Constitution of the United
the
States
Constitution of the United States
and the Constitution of this Commonwealth,
and the Constitution of this Commonwealth,
and that I will discharge the duties
that I will just discharge the duties
of my office
of my office
with fidelity.
with fidelity.
And that's up to them.
Bishop,
I, Dominic Bishop,
do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I will support, obey, and defend
that I will support, obey, and defend
the Constitution of the United
the
States
Constitution of the United States
and the Constitution of this
and the
Commonwealth,
Constitution of this Commonwealth,
and that I will discharge my duties
and discharge my duties
of my office
in my office.
with fidelity. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Judge Lukens, on behalf of myself and all of council, all of our officials, we'd like to sincerely thank you for taking the time this evening to swear all of our constituents in. Thank you very much. And congratulations.
We've got, can we real quickly do one more?
Sure.
Sorry, we can talk about.
Constable for Ward 1.
I think we don't yet for her vote, just to make sure.
I don't have an extra one.
Okay. Well, I can sign it. We'll figure that out. Let's do this. You ready? Sure. Okay. I, Carol Smith, do solemnly swear
Do solemnly swear
that I will support, obey, and defend
that I will support, obey,
and defend
defend
the Constitution of the United States
the Constitution of the United States
and the Constitution of this Commonwealth,
the Constitution of this Commonwealth,
and that I will discharge my duties
and I will discharge my duties
of my office
of my office
with fidelity.
with fidelity. She's going to run up and make an extra.
Oh, okay, perfect. Okay.
You ready?
Okay, yeah.
Okay.
All right, I'm calling to order our reorganization meeting for 2022. Ms. Checo, you give us the roll call?
Councilmember Serna.
Here.
Councilmember Kingsley.
Here.
Councilmember Leonard.
Here.
Councilmember Sokolowski.
Here.
Councilmember Barton.
Here.
Councilmember Elam.
Here.
Note for the record, Councilmember Tutino is absent. Mayor Aronson.
Here.
Thank you.
Ms. Sokolowski, would you like to do a prayer for council?
Sure. Everyone, please rise. O divine Master, in deep humility, we place ourselves, our thoughts, and our plans in thy hands. We beg thee to fill our minds and our wills with the gifts of wisdom, understanding, counsel, fortitude, knowledge, and piety. Help us not to think of self or personal desires, but rather consider the responsibilities laid upon us. Help us to promote as far as possible the welfare of our people and to treat them with impartiality and justice. Grant us the power to set a good example in thought, word, and deed, so that thy blessings will be showered upon us and the people that we represent. Amen. Amen. Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
At this time, I will open up the floor for nominations for council president.
I'd like to make a nomination to appoint Colleen Leonard as council president.
And I'll second that.
Should we do unanimous?
I'm sorry?
You want roll call or unanimous?
I
Do
don't,
roll call.
roll call?
Councilmember Serna.
Yes.
Councilmember Kingsley.
Yes.
Councilmember Leonard.
Yes.
Councilmember Sokolowski.
Yes.
Councilmember Barton.
Yes.
Councilmember Elam.
Yes.
Motion
Motion carries. Congratulations.
Congratulations. I would like to nominate Tina Sokolowski for vice president.
I second.
Thank you. Roll call vote?
Councilmember Serna.
Yes.
Councilmember Kingsley.
Yes.
Councilmember Barton.
Yes.
Councilmember Elam.
Yes.
Councilmember Sokolowski.
Yes.
President Leonard.
Yes.
Motion carries.
Thank you. Thank you.
Everybody ready?
Everybody's ready.
Okay. Under the consent agenda, the first item is to appoint Stephanie Checco as Borough Secretary and Open Records Officer. We need a motion.
I make that motion.
I'll second it. All in favor? Aye. All opposed? Motion carries.
Appoint Julie Davis of Dunlap and Associates as Borough Treasurer at the submitted rate schedule.
I'll make that motion.
I'll second. All in favor? Aye. All opposed? Motion carries.
Appoint Michael Peters of Eastburn and Gray as Borough Solicitor at the submitted rate schedule.
I'll make that motion.
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Motion carries.
Appoint Karen McNair of Gilmore and Associates as the Borough Engineer at the submitted rate schedule.
I make that motion.
I'll second.
All in favor? All opposed? Motion carries.
Appoint Christopher Fazio of Remington and Vernick Engineers as the Borough Alternate Engineer at the submitted rate schedule.
I'll make that motion.
I'll second it.
All in favor? Aye. All opposed? Motion carries.
Appoint Chuck Christensen of Next Wave Consulting as the Borough IT Service Manager at the submitted rate schedule.
I'll make that motion. Sokolowski?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Motion carries.
Appoint Eric Johnson of Pannoni Associates as the Borough Zoning Officer at the submitted rate schedule.
I'll make that motion.
Second.
All in favor? Aye. All opposed? Motion carries.
Appoint Benjamin Patchen, Tiffany Allen, and Patrick Harvey of Campbell, Durant, Beatty, Palumbo, and Miller as the Borough Labor Attorney at the submitted rate schedule.
I'll make that motion.
I'll second it.
All in favor? Aye. All opposed? Motion carries.
Appoint Brian Keaveney of Pannoni Associates as the Borough Traffic Engineer at the submitted rate schedule.
I'll make that motion.
Second.
All in favor? Aye. All opposed? Motion carries.
Appoint Albert Federico of Albert Federico Consulting LLC as the Special Conflict Borough Traffic Engineer at the submitted rate schedule.
I'll make that motion.
I'll second. All in favor? Aye. All opposed? Motion carries.
Appoint Matthew Trainer of Code Inspections, Inc. as a Commercial Building Inspector at the submitted rate schedule.
I'll make that motion.
Second.
All in favor? Aye. All opposed? Motion carries.
Appoint Christopher Fazio of Remington and Verdict Engineers as the Borough Alternate Building Inspector at the submitted rate schedule.
Oh, I'll make that motion.
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Motion carries.
Appoint William Chrisman of Lamb Meckerlane as the Solicitor to the Civil Service Commission at the submitted rate schedule.
I'll make that motion.
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Motion carries.
Appoint Michael Clark of Rudolph Clark as Solicitor to the Zoning Hearing Board at the submitted rate schedule.
I'll make that motion.
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Motion carries.
Appoint Gary Williams of McCarthy and Company as the Borough Tax Auditor at the submitted rate schedule.
I'll make that motion.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Motion carries.
Designate the Council President, Vice President, and Borough Manager as authorized signers for the Borough's bank accounts and approve Truist Bank, Pliggett Bank, Fulton Bank, U.S. Bank, Voya, and INR.
I'll make that motion.
I'll second it.
All in favor? Aye. All opposed? Motion carries.
Adopt the 2022 fee schedule and the 2022 land development, planning, engineering, and legal review fees.
I'll make that motion.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Motion carries.
Affirm the standing chairs and members of the borough boards and commissions. They are Marty Eckert, Jack Cole for the Civil Service Commission, Tim Beckel, Ashley McQuaid for the EAC, Jason Fortenberry for the Human Relations Committee, Janine Riley and Carol Smith for the Municipal Authority Board, Liz McNeil, Dana McNeil, Daniel Swartley McArdle for the Planning Commission, Mark Danick, Alan Chmielewski, and Marlo Doman for the Zoning Hearing Board, Jessica Sullivan for the Marywood Park Commission, and Antoinette Coop, Holly Holst, Jocelyn Toy, Sergio, and Sarah Aronson to the Friends of Conshohocken Parks.
I'll make that motion.
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Motion carries.
The next item is to reappoint members who expressed interest in continuing to serve on boards and commissions. I'm going to go individual by individual in terms of motions. The first individual for consideration is Mark Bonavita Cola to the Board of Code Appeals.
I'll make that motion.
I'll second.
All in favor? Aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Motion carries.
John Costello to the Civil Service Commission.
I'll make that motion.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Motion carries.
Dominic Rocco to the EAC.
Make that motion.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Motion carries.
Deborah Stovall to the Human Relations Commission.
I'll make that motion.
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Motion carries.
Jane Flanagan to the Marywood Park Commission.
I'll make that motion.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Motion carries.
Judy Smith Cressley to the Planning Commission.
I'll make that motion.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Motion carries.
Holly Holst to the Vacancy Board.
I'll make that motion.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Motion carries.
Rick Barton to the Zoning Hearing Board.
I'll make that motion.
Second.
And I believe we have one recusal?
Yes.
Yes.
Sorry.
All in favor? Aye. All opposed? Motion carries with the recusal of Ms. Barton.
Nita forgot.
Nita forgot.
Yeah, I am married to him, really.
The last individual is Felix Ramundo to the Sewer Authority Board.
I make a motion not to reappoint.
All in favor?
Need
Aye.
second.
I need a second.
You want a second?
I'll second that.
All in favor? Aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Motion carries.
The next item on the agenda is to consider appointing applicants to board and commission vacancies, individuals who have expressed interest and who have interviewed to date. This evening, we will be considering Richard Kosich for the EAC.
I'll make that motion.
A second.
All in favor? Aye. All opposed? Motion carries.
The next item is to accept the resignation of Eliza Lanzuti from the EAC.
I'll make that motion.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Motion carries. And I would like to say for council that everyone on council truly appreciates all of the hard work and effort that Eliza has put in over the last, I don't even know how many years at this point. It is truly appreciated and recognized by all of us. So I know Eliza's not here, but thank you very much.
We will make sure that we pass along that message, and I believe that she will be coming back in some capacity one more time just to do a follow-up presentation to council in terms of the EAC, to the work that they've done collectively up until her resignation in December.
That's great.
The last item on the agenda is to consider awarding a contract for engineering services for the 2020 CBG curb ramp project. As you will recall, a request for proposals was issued for the engineering services for implementation of the curb ramp project, which is funded through 2020 CDBG funds. Ramps will be constructed at a number of intersections and alley crossings. There were 4 proposals that were received in response to the RFP. Proposals were reviewed by the borough manager, the executive director of operations, and the community development coordinator. All engineering cost estimates were higher than originally anticipated, which will result in a reduction of the number of curb ramps which can be constructed. It was determined that the proposal from Remington and Vernick engineers most closely met the needs of the borough and the project in terms of experience, familiarity with federal requirements, understanding of the project, ability to complete the project within the time constraints of the borough's contract, and the cost. The not-to-exceed cost for the project is $36,000. Your meeting materials had a copy of the full proposal. In terms of the other firms that submitted, Apex Design and Engineering. It was a fairly new firm. While there was experience in accessibility, the experience appears to have been in access to buildings. That was in at $33,638. Tectonic Engineering Consultants, their cost was $61,272. The cost was well over the funding that's available. The firm is experienced in very large projects, which included accessibility, but most of which were outside of Pennsylvania. There was some confusion in terms of the time needed to complete the project. There was no mention of assisting with the actual bidding of the project. So the additional costs were noted for testing, construction supervision, and the time period would needed to be extended. So those were our concerns in removing that firm. And the last firm was Barry Izett and Associates. That cost was $32,500. Those costs did not include a list of costs for reimbursable expenses, which would add to the base cost for services. Meetings with the borough were listed as needed, but there was a commitment to a pre-construction meeting. So for all of those reasons stated, this evening we are recommending that you consider awarding a contract for engineering services for the 2020 CDBG curb ramp project to Remington and Vernon engineers at a not to exceed cost of $36,000. Is that good for the record?
That's good.
Okay, great. If so inclined, I would need a motion.
So I'll make the motion to appoint RVE for the 2020 CDBG curb ramp project.
I'll second it.
All in favor? Aye. All opposed? Motion carries. Thank you. Do we have anyone this evening for public comment? Okay. Mayor Aronson, do you have anything this evening?
I will just wish everyone a happy new year and best of luck to our new council members. We look forward to working with you over the next 4 years.
Stacy?
I'm good for tonight, thank you, President Leonard.
Thank you. Anita?
Just a happy new year and very glad to be back here for another 4 years to serve the borough and my residents.
Congratulations, Anita. Kathleen?
Nothing, Colin, thank you.
Adrian, do you have anything this evening?
Happy New Year, and I'm excited to get to work.
Okay. Vice President Sokolowski?
Just congratulations to all the candidates for all the hard work that you've done up to today. And now, even harder work begins.
Oh,
Yes.
family, no.
And on that, I would also like to congratulate all of our new candidates and re-election of the mayor, Anita and Kathleen. And I would also like to thank everyone on council for your faith in in appointing me president again and Tina vice president. It is much appreciated and very heartfelt. So, and with that, I would say Happy New Year to everyone, and meeting adjourned.
Motion.